Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDVC. If you want to, go ahead and subscribe to the page and also like this video, and also hit the notification icon so you can stay in the loop for what we have going on, basically. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of tap into the Shakur Stevenson. You know, I have to give him respect for what he's trying to do. From his voices or his words, it sounds like Shakur Stevenson is trying to revive what boxing once was. You know, it sounds like Shakur Stevenson wants to bring it back to the days where there was no such thing as other side of the street, and that these promoters will work with one another no matter what, you know, no matter what networks are involved or any of those particulars. It sounds like that's what he wants to do. You know, on his tweet he said, you know, forget the other side of the street, you know, this is boxing. The best should fight the best. In other words, those were basically the words he was giving the public, you know. So, with that being said, something tells me that it's not a coincidence that on BoxRec they're using his mugshot instead of using a regular picture, you know, on there. You know, now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if this has been done before with other boxers, you know. Perhaps you can, like, perhaps someone in the comment section can kind of, like, keep me, like, informed and let me know if it's been done by other boxers before, that they use their mugshot, you know. I need to know, you know what I mean? Now, for me, I have my suspicions about it. I mean, I think the reason why they're using his mugshot for this particular thing is because, you know, I hate to say it, but in boxing, you know, it's like any other sport in the sense that, you know, the athletes are supposed to just be content with what they're getting and shouldn't say anything, you know. It's basically like the shut up and dribble syndrome, you know. And it's basically like, okay, well, if you're signed to a promoter and you're doing these fights and you're basically getting these purses, you should be happy, you should be content, and you shouldn't be saying a word, That's basically what they want in a nutshell. Basically, if you're a boxer, to be a boxer is basically to be a just they will think of you as just a mindless brute, basically. And that's not the case. Like, you always want to uh, have control, creative control over your career, control over your livelihood, and also just control over your overall health and well-being in this sport. Because, promoters will mess around and put you into something that you are not really equipped for and can affect you very much so, down the line. Can, lead to, basically a very difficult time coming back, you know what I mean, from what they put you in. For example, Saddam Ali against Jaime Munguia, that was a setup fight, His own promoter did him dirty like that, though. His own promoter put him in that fight knowing that Jaime Munguia is just way bigger, And since then, Saddam Ali has not really been the same. Saddam Ali has not really been able to put together a string of wins that will enable him basically to, possibly get back into the mix of things and get a belt. That's basically what's occurred so far. But anyhow, I want to get back to this Shakur Stevenson thing, because of the simple fact that they put his mugshot on there, right? They put his mugshot on there. I believe the charges he had was like a melee, and I want to say the melee was in Miami, I think. I believe it was in Miami, yeah. They put his mugshot on there for that melee, right? But here's my question, and this is my question to BoxRec, and hopefully they can answer this question. You put his mugshot on there, right? You went ahead and took it upon yourself to put his mugshot on there. Okay, that's cool. But what about Sergey Kovalev's mugshot? Was he not in? Did he not assault a woman? Did he not leave that woman bruised and all kinds of things like that? So I want to know, where's his mugshot at on BoxRec? Are you guys gonna post that or no? I'm waiting for an answer. And if you want to, BoxRec, you can answer on this video too. You can answer on the bottom of this video. But as you see, they will do this to boxers, and they'll do this to boxers who happen to have the complexion that is basically looked down upon throughout this society, So let's be honest with ourselves and understand that, I'll give you an example. I mean, even when you look at the Sergey Kovalev case, it took a long time for this to be revealed, that he did this. If, as a matter of fact, I think they would have kept it under wraps, if they had the choice. And so when you look at other things, those happen like, it becomes breaking news right away. Like, for example, when Demetrius Bugatti Andre, he got caught with a strap, in his car. That was the first thing. That was the first thing on the press, like hot off the press, basically. So, boxing, we may think like it's not racial, or people may think it's not racial. Many people may think that, oh, you're reaching. A lot of people, what people do, you know, what people do is basically they say, oh, Fula, you're reaching. Boxing is just about skill. It's not about race. You know, please save that. Please save that for someone else who has maybe is in denial of the society we're living in. All I can say is if boxing wasn't about race, okay, and this is to one of those people who say you're making it about race. If boxing wasn't about race, okay, then why isn't Sergey Kovalev's box rep profile picture changed as well, along with Shakur Stevenson's? If they're going to do that, be fair across the board. Don't just do it for one guy, who happens to have a complexion that many don't like, And so, again, I think they did that because they're trying to prove a point. Like, okay, if you talk too much, then this is what we're going to do to you, because Shakur Stevenson has been vocal in the past. It wasn't just this one time. He's been vocal in the past about how Top Rank handles its fighters. That it gives, how Top Rank gives preferential treatment to certain fighters over other fighters. But anyhow, I just wanted to make this short video about this topic. I still think Shakur Stevenson, if he stay focused, if he stay keep his eye on the prize, I think he's gonna have a good future. And I think that him fighting at 130 is more likely because he's just really too big of a 126 pounder. I know he has no problem making weight, but yeah, he might as well move to like just 130. That would be better. I mean, he's called out Tank and everything, so I'm pretty sure he can move to these higher weight classes with no problem. But anyhow, that's all I got for now, guys. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Full signing out. Inshallah.